Over 100 years of history are housed inside this majestic facade, trimming the north side edge of Riverside Avenue in downtown Spokane. Some of this history is clouded, due in part to the lore behind the civic-minded Fraternal Masonic Order. Harkening back to ancient Egypt, the Masonic Temple exudes the prominence and character from the organization's roots, which have been in existence for over 1,000 years. Breaking ground in 1903 with then-President and Mason Theodore Roosevelt presiding, the municipality of Spokane began building what would eventually become a community treasure. Roosevelt again was welcomed back in 1905 to a completed structure that would come to be known as the Civic Center of the city. Executive Director for the Masonic Temple Association, Kathy Pearson.
The Masonic Temple Association is actually a standalone organization and a corporation. In fact, it was incorporated in 1901, and so it's more than a century old with the state of Washington. And even though we are supported by Masons by virtue of the fact that they pay part of their annual dues to support the building, we also support the building by outside donations and outside events that we do. There were over 10,000 Masons that belonged to this organization back at the turn of the century. We had a large 1,400-seat theater, a 550-seat theater. Both of those have projection rooms in them. They did funerals, they did graduations, sock hops, everything that you can think of went on at the Masonic Temple. So it was the place to be.
The back side of the structure, facing Main Street, shows the temple in this early photograph unencumbered. In 1925, the Masonic Temple realized a major expansion, creating the structure of the building that stands today. With very few right angles in the building, it has been said to be trapezoidal in nature, following the natural curve of Riverside Avenue. Listed on the National Historic Register and the Spokane Historical Register, the building houses a multitude of rooms brimming with history. With the acquisition of a matching grant from the National Park Service, the Masonic Temple Association strives to keep the building a viable structure.
We're very proud of the building. We've been working on it for the last 2 years. As you walk through the building, you'll see that it's been very well taken care of. Many of the rooms in it are in outstanding shape, but we still have things to do. We have 8 baby grand pianos in the building, and they're all circa 1895 to 1905. So we have 2 particular stages, and we have backdrops on, antique lighting boards and stage lighting, and the backdrops are 80 to 100 years old. The seats that are in there match the ones that are in the auditorium on the first floor. They're original seats. Those seats have these little cages underneath of them, and they were for men's top hats. One of the other items that we did with our National Park Service grant was to open the Orchestra Pit, which hadn't been open for many, many years. 2 of our volunteers fashioned a keyway, and there's a large pulley system down there, and they put that key in there and they worked that pulley, and it worked just like a charm and opened up this great, wonderful orchestra pit. The cost of the original building was $77,000. At that time, they put an additional $55,000 in the furnishings of this building. And so we have 800 antique chairs in here. One interesting little note here is the blue room is not really blue. It stands for the Blue Lodges, which are the first 3 degrees in Masonry. It takes people aback when they go through the door because when they walk in, the carpet's red. And about 65, 70 years ago, Louis Davenport, who was a Mason, was recarpeting the Davenport Hotel at that time, and so he bought enough carpet to do that room, so it's red. We're standing in the staircase area where was the original part of the Masonic Temple, the original entrance. As you look up the staircase here, you're going to see that we have a skylight that was covered over in World War II. We opened it up again last December. We have natural sunlight streaming in this part of the building for the first time in over 60 years. We have the Falls Room, which was remodeled 15 years ago, and it's on the top story of this building. They did an extensive renovation up there, and now we have a jet black floor. The really outstanding part of this is that there are 5 banks of doors that walk out onto a balcony that overlook the Spokane Falls. We're coming alive again. The Masonic Temple is doing more concerts, we're doing more events, and we just want the community to know that our doors aren't closed. We are open to the community. There's just a wonderful energy in this building that you won't find anyplace else. When it's all full, and there are people doing things here, it's a beautiful, fantastic, wonderful building.
If you have an idea for Northwest Profiles, send it to KSPS TV, 3911 South Regal, Spokane, Washington 99223. Northwest Profiles is a presentation of KSPS Public Television.